Hello, welcome to my channel, Boom Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wang. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you today, tuning into the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Hope this reading finds you happy and healthy and enjoying your journey to becoming more and more yourself. All right. The overall energy of today's reading is the Two of Pentacles. A choice, a decision, a 3D decision, Pentacles, maybe around finances, around something in the physical reality. Seeing the Brooklyn Bridge in this imagery. Also seeing flowers. All right, so what's going on with this choice? Oh, High Priestess. Unlimited potential. Feels like this is where you're making this decision from, your intuition. The High Priestess is between the column, the dark column and the light column. Taking everything into consideration. It feels balanced. Feels like an intuitive decision that you're making. Using your intuition in a real decision that affects you. Okay. Hermit and the Emperor with his back turned. Virgo and Aries energy here. This decision, it feels like you are in this Emperor energy, making a decision, leading yourself. You're very intuitive, capable. There's something about the Hermit card. Feels like the Hermit card is here to explain that you've been doing things by yourself. Feels like things have been challenging, but the challenges have created this amazing leadership within you, even if it's just leading yourself. Figuring out how to make decisions, how you make decisions. What I'm not seeing are outside factors. It feels like this is contained within you, like you are using your intuition. You've been on journeying by yourself, that has shown you your strengths, shown you some type of enlightenment. You know what I love about this is the balanced. It feels like you've learned a lot. You have real life experiences to help you make this decision. You have gone through a lot of experience, difficult experiences that have shown you, enlightened you to figuring out how things work in the real world. And you also have this intuition to back you up, to give you guidance with this decision. That's, I'm getting words like powerhouse, the way you make decisions from an intuitive place, but also looking at experiences, what you've learned. Absolutely love it. All right, hidden blessings. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. This is my card. Four of Wands upright is marriage, celebration, taking things to the next level and celebrating. It's a bit of a portal, or denoting a change, a shift. In reverse, feels like Feels like someone saying it's going to be fun, joyful, but there's some type of switch. And the further you go down a pathway, the more unhappy, the more exhausted. So why is the Four of Wands in reverse a hidden blessing? Well, that's interesting. The cards just flipped everywhere. So when cards for me hide, it feels like someone doesn't want this out. They want it hidden. Five of Swords. Feels like there was some type of bait and switch in a relationship. And there was some type of promise that things were going to be happy and joyful. But instead, things were not happy. It feels like you might have connected your wagon, connected your life with someone who was really a hidden bully, kept it hidden. You might have even participated in keeping the truth about the relationship hidden, maybe because of shame, because of, trying to figure it out. We'll work this out. Because you never would have attached your life with someone else if they showed up in this Five of Swords energy. So it feels like at some point they changed. And then the real relationship started after committing to someone. Why is this in the hidden blessing? These cards came out as a challenge. Seven of Cups reverse, Ace of Swords reverse, Page of Cups coming out as a challenge. A lack of options, foundational lies, and feels like I'm getting two messages off the Page of Cups. I'm getting that there might be children involved, and I'm also getting that this other person is kind of an immature, stagnant, like stayed immature. They don't want mature connection. They don't want growth in their maturity. I'm getting, these are definitely hidden blessings, that something didn't work out, that something was such a challenge. You might have been in a relationship, but in this hermit energy, like alone from inside of a relationship and having to navigate this. It feels like this is the experience that you have this Emperor and Hermit energy that I was just explaining. And it looks like with the Fool card and the Queen of Wands with her back turned, that you're taking a leap of faith in a new direction. Feels like you might be keeping your moves a little hidden, keeping them to yourself. The Queen of Wands goes after what she desires, her highest excitement. And there's hidden blessings in all that difficulty that you've gone through. What I'm getting is that the past can give you the fuel, that it didn't just happen for naught. There's lessons to be learned, important lessons that will help you once you integrate and understand the lessons from this past experience. Heal, integrate those lessons, and allow yourself to become the person who has learned those lessons, figured things out. It feels like whatever this decision you're making, a choice in the 3D that you're making, the past, if you'll let it, is important. It wasn't a waste. at all. It feels like it's very important information about in regards to your next steps, your new pathway. And it feels like you could really utilize what you've learned in this new choice, in a new pathway. All right, moving on. What you're leaving behind is the devil reversed specifically. I'm hearing, I know why the caged bird sings. Feels like you've set yourself free. I believe it's from Maya Angelou's story, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sing. Wasn't the quote, when I knew better, I did better? I loved reading Maya Angelou's stories because she was so frank and honest about her life experiences instead of hiding them and being ashamed. And she really embodied, when I knew better, then I could do better. But when you don't know, you don't know. And it feels like this past experience, very painful, upsetting. There's this potential, yeah, well, once I figured it out, once I knew better, then I did better. Then I made different choices. And that's feels like the overall energy with the Two of Pentacles is a choice that you're making right now. Feels like you're leaving behind a lot of toxic energies, toxic belief systems, toxic systems. You might be deconstructing from those toxic systems. All right, moving on. How to get the most of this energy. Two cards came out. The Six of Swords reversed and the Four of Cups in regards to how to get the most of this energy. Six of Swords reversed feels like nervousness, anxiety, inability to move on. Specifically regards because of a mindset or because of anxiety. I'm feeling like more anxiety, fear. Fear of the past repeating, which kind of keeps you in that fear. Four of Cups is an interesting imagery. Here's this person that's just not even paying attention. There's a cup, an opportunity that the universe is presenting, but because this person has tried 3 cups and none of those cups, none of those opportunities worked out, and so now this person is ignoring opportunities, assuming that they're all the same opportunities. So it does seem like what would be helpful here to get the most of this reading, the most of these energies, is healing your mindset, changing your mindset. This feels like more around somatic healing, healing your nervous system. So you might have the mindset's there, the beliefs are there, but your physical body is still holding on to the trauma. And so new opportunities come in and you're just seeing them as old opportunities, as the same app, different day. On a nervous system level, you might want to have new opportunities, but when they present themselves, your nervous system is in fight or flight, or easily goes into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Feels like for some of you, you're really, really ready for this leap of faith in a new direction, a new life, new you. but there's your nervous system wants you to stay home and stay hidden away. So that might, what I'm perceiving here is not about your mindset, but more about somatically, just feeling that your body still is reactive at times, still has dysregulation, maybe. For some, at some point, this is a understandable energy that when you've gone through something and your nervous system is messed up because of the traumatic experiences that you've gone through, then it would be self-care to just close away, kind of give yourself some space to heal. But this feels like if you've been years in hermit mode, just afraid of getting out there in the world, afraid of opportunities because of past traumatic experiences. It feels like it's not allowing you to get the most of this experience of you being you, of your life. So what would help the viewer, whoever's having this issue? That's interesting. 5 of Wands. Okay. There's something about taking action, little action. These people, yeah, they might be fighting with wands, but they're not fighting with swords, right? It might hurt, but it sticks. Practice. This feels like practice. And it's a 5, so change. Taking action, doing something different, little practice sessions. Not fully flooding and going into full terror, but what actions can you do to shift your pattern? Go somewhere different, do something different, so you can practice small little outings with people. It feels like just this feels like in this message, in this space, feels like who I'm talking to, who this message is for, someone who feels like their isolation that the isolation is keeping them stuck. You're wanting to move past and get out of the trauma and the fear. The fears and the dysregulation might be keeping you at home, keeping you from experiences, keeping you from life experiences. And so what I'm seeing here is practicing taking actions, just little, not a huge, shift, but little shifts, little changes in your day-to-day to change those patternings. And so you can add more and start getting comfortable with those little shifts and changes. So then your nervous system can recognize new energy, but it's okay. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's not creating more trauma for you to have to overcome. All right. What's supporting you is the Tower. False reality collapsing. I remember when I was learning tarot, little 3.5 years ago, not quite. I remember the Tower was such a scary card false reality collapsing, because at that time I was having tower after tower. Now I'm so grateful. It's a false reality. It's a false belief. It's not reality. And so when you are working to try to keep a false reality from collapsing, all that work is trying to keep a fantasy, a delusion together. And so I'm happy when I see something, a belief, a limiting belief, a false reality collapses. Fantastic. Then I can deal with reality. So what is it? It's in what's supporting you. What's the false reality that's collapsing? King of Cups reversed, Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups. It feels emotional with King of Cups in reverse. Overwhelming even in the emotions. Seven of Wands, you're protected or have healthy boundaries. And Ace of Cups is self-love, loving energy. I don't see Ace of Cups as, I love myself, so I'm going to give myself some treats and a bubble bath. That can be part of loving yourself, but really loving yourself is reparenting yourself, making decisions that are good for you. Healthy boundaries, creating and maintaining healthy boundaries, standing up for yourself, incredibly uncomfortable, but it is one of the most self-loving things you can do. Stand up for yourself, protect yourself. Your inner voice, more of a coach. You've got this. You can figure this out. I know you can do this. Instead of if you've got internal monologue that's like, you suck, you're always messing up, I can't believe this, everyone's always again. That's not loving. That's not helpful. So figuring out your inner voice could be part of self-loving. Self-love is also not giving from an empty cup. If you don't have the energy, the time, there's only so much of you to go around, and to not overgive. Let's clarify so this false reality collapsing, who's the King of Cups reversed? Knight of Swords, Two of Wands, Queen of Swords reversed, Nine of Pentacles. Around this King of Cups, upset around a false reality collapsing. Oh, okay. This, for some of you, this feels like someone exterior to you, someone who's overwhelmed by a false reality collapsing. They lack emotional maturity. It feels like this person rushes to conclusions. I'm get blame right away. Someone emotionally immature can't. Well, when I've been emotionally immature in my lifetime, which has been a lot of my lifetime, I was very avoidant of any responsibility, dodging, no accountability. I would very quickly go to excuses. Well, I was so hurt and so wounded, so I've got an excuse for behaving horribly. Because I hurt you because I've been hurt. So I'm getting something similar here. Someone's feeling miserable around a false reality collapsing, and they're rushing, because of the lack of maturity, then they rush to blaming. assessing blame is what my mom called that. So the moment any of us in our family got sick, my mom would like, let's figure out where we got this bug, this illness from. And she'd kind of laugh and assess blame, but that's really what she did for everything and taught me how to figure out who to blame for what's happening. And that's what this feels like with the Knight of Swords. Someone immature, something they do not prefer. So it feels like someone's false reality is collapsing. I don't feel like this is yours, viewer. You're protected and in this loving energy. But someone's blaming you for their they lack inner discernment. It feels like they need someone to blame because they can't see themselves. They're very confused. Boy, between their emotions, emotional immaturity, and a lack of inner discernment, inner truth. My raven friend just landed on the roof above me. Hi, Shivers. Hi, buddy. Oh, it's just the best. I don't think you can pick up. There's gravel on my roof and he's walking over here, so I'll go say hi. That's just the best. I've named him Shivers because when I asked him what his name was, he did a full body shiver, so I call him Shivers. And now he's showing up daily. Yesterday, I hang out now in the mornings for about an hour or two, just hanging out with my coffee, and give him some food. And yesterday he started chatting because I'm just yappity, 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 talking to him constantly. Like, you're so pretty. What a beautiful bird. And so yesterday he started chatting and kind of mimicking a little bit my voice and my laugh because I'm always kind of giggling and laughing because it's just the best. So it's been such a beautiful addition to my life, getting to have a raven friend. So, all right, let's get to back to your reading. I'm getting that you've got this stability. You've got good boundaries. I feel like a lot of your false realities have already collapsed. That you are in reality, loving life. You've got this independence about you by training your focus. And there's just someone else. It feels something going on in their world, in the world. And whatever this false reality that's collapsing, it's benefiting you. Whatever false reality is collapsing, it's benefiting you, viewer. But there's someone else, other people. This feels almost like making up, blaming. I'm seeing like in old-timey days, if people would get sick in a village, then they would assess blame. And someone was over at the well, and there's all this fear and rushing to conclusions and trying to find who to blame on a big scale, a world scale. because they lack inner discernment and can't see themselves. They're always looking and outside of self for the answers and for blame. So something, it feels like, is going to shift, is collapsing. And there are those who just can't, who will rush to conclusions and create beliefs off of this collapse. It looks like you, viewer, you've got healthy boundaries. You're very protected. You've also got this flow state and loving yourself, loving life. And the Nine of Pentacles clarified to 10, it feels like you've got individual abundance, independence for yourself, but it's going to add that 10 of Pentacles, a legacy. This feels like independent abundance for yourself, luxury, fantastic. This feels like adding more people, a community, a family to that, and a lot more abundance. The type of abundance that you work for the rest of your life, a legacy. Yeah. Something's falling and something's taking its place. Something that's much more stable, built in love. Yeah. All right, moving on. What to be mindful of is the Ace of Cups. 2 Ace of Cups in this reading. There's the Ace of Swords in reverse. So there's new energy coming in, mostly around the, so far, cups. Loving yourself, loving life, being in flow state. Feels very important for you to have what you prefer. What does the viewer need to know about this Ace of Cups? Ten of Cups. 10 of Cups is my card for choosing to be happy. These people are in the real world, not in a fantasy. They're in the real world, and they've gone through all the 10 cups. They've gone through disappointments, rejections, upset, devastating losses, hurt, woundedness, betrayals, joy, happiness, success. They've gone through all of the feelings, all the emotions, and they are choosing to be happy anyway. There's something here around your self-love and loving yourself, loving your life, and it feels like this choice, what's happening is taking things from this independent hermit mode where we started by yourself to opening up to community, to others. From 9 of Pentacles to 10, independent abundance to community abundance. Loving yourself, self-love, loving your life, to living with others in community, caring. There's something, it feels like whatever this choice is, it's taking you from a small, independent way to community is what I'm getting. There he is again. All right, I'm going to do an extended reading. I'm halfway through the reading. If you're interested, if this has been resonating, there's a link in the description box below. It says extended reading here. You click on that link. It takes you right to part 2, where I'll be looking at health, relationships, creativity, new opportunities, and career and finance. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for all your comments and shares and likes. I'm so excited about expanding this channel, and I so appreciate all of you and all of your support. So, all right, I'll see you on Patreon extended reading. If not, have a great rest of your day.